Hello, hello, my friends. I am continuing my candle collection series. Earlier this week, I posted my homeworks collection. I posted my miscellaneous collection, which includes candles from brands like Sniff, Yankee, and Gold Canyon. I also shared with you guys what is in my caramel sundaes area of my collection. But we are ending this series with a bang. In fact, we are going to do a two-parter. This is my Kringle candle collection. So spoiler alert, you guys, my Kringle collection makes up more than half of my total candle stash. So in today's video, I am going to be sharing with you guys what are the candles that I have from Kringle that I would consider are in like their quote unquote core lineup. And then the second part of the video, or the second part of my Kringle video series, will be what I have from Country Candle, Reserve line, as well as any kind of like limited edition holiday releases. So yeah, let's get my words together here, you guys. This video will focus primarily on what I have in 4 wicks, 3 wicks, and their 2 wick formats. So if you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I feel like this is already going to be a lengthy one, so let's go ahead and dive right on into it. As always, you guys, I will make sure that I have all of the candles listed in the description box down below. Some may still be in stock. Some I will notate if I know that some are like limited edition or no longer available. But I think most of these are candles that they kind of keep, they will restock at some point throughout the year. Again, I have a variety of different seasons. I do have an affiliate discount code with Kringle. It is Katie15. I'm not sure if their after Christmas sale is still going on, but my discount code does apply to full priced items. So if you're ever wanting to, shop the sale, but maybe there's a full priced item in there that you just want to save money on shipping, my code will apply to that. So it is an affiliate code eligible for a commission. Always like to be truthful with that. But yeah, Katie15 will save you 15%. Now, let's go ahead and dive on in to all of these candles. I think I'm going to go ahead and start out with these extra large candles. So Kringle released these 4-wick candles a little over a year ago now. Truthfully, you guys, this has become my go-to format for fragrances that I really, really love. And you're going to see that in my collection or reflected. So the first candle that I want to share with you guys is Cozy Christmas. Cozy Christmas has fragrance notes of firewood, Nordic cedar, nutmeg, orange rind, vanilla bean. If you happen to like hearth side with a little bit of citrus types of fragrances, then Cozy Christmas is going to be your jam. I know a lot of people like to compare this to Bath and Body Works Winter. This is a little bit different fragrance than Winter. If you want a like more spot on dupe from Kringle that would be Winter, I would point you to Frosted Dawn. This just has a little bit more of like an orange rind note in here. It's not fresh, juicy orange. I'm trying to pick that up very, very gently. And more of like a hearth type of vibe to it. Not smoky, but there's something about this that is just so cozy and inviting. I actually still really like burning this fragrance throughout the month of January, even in like the evenings. Now, I did post about this on Instagram the other day, and I know a couple of people have mentioned this about the 4 wicks. So I did want to let you guys know. Okay, so you can see the wicks here. I haven't trimmed them. I'm not doing anything fancy with it. But I did notice that this candle, the burn did slow down a little bit the other night when I was burning this. Now, granted, I had been burning it for a long time that day. And here's one of the things I had written this in the Kringle Facebook group, but I am going to address it here too as well. So one of the things that I think that we in the candle community, when we see wicks start to slow down, we've all been a little bit traumatized, right, by certain brands developing puny wicks midway through. We're looking at you, Bath and Body Works, right? And usually when that happens, that is the harbinger that the candle's performance is going to dud out. Like it's going to stop throwing, it's going to start smelling sooty. The wax is going to get sooty. But look at this wax, you guys. I mean, like it's maybe a little tiny bit of like a line of demarcation, but truthfully, you guys, you see that on all of my other candles, right? After the wax has been warmed, there's a little bit of a line of demarcation. I am going to tell you guys, the fragrance didn't alter. It didn't soot. And truthfully, even though the flames were a little bit smaller than I would have liked, the candle was still throwing very, very well. Now, the thing that some other people commented, because somebody had posted that they were experiencing some puny wicks, I think it was on their Christmas tree farm candle. And I saw a couple of other people say, yeah, that happened on my 4 wicks, but you know what? I just let it keep burning and it corrected itself. And even when I posted that on my Instagram stories the other night, Mick reached out to me. He responded and, he suggested, he's like, you can suck up a little bit of wax, but sometimes that happens with some of the more like densely fragranced oils, like the denser fragrance oils. He said it should correct. And I just kind of gave him an update and said like, yeah, it does. So here's the thing, you guys. Puny wicks on the 2 wicks, yes, it does affect the strength and throw. But I will tell you that I had, this isn't the only brand where I've had 4 wicks slow down on the burn halfway through. In fact, I had that happen with my Sniff Old Saint wick, and I just let it keep burning, and it ended up correcting itself on like after, I would say like maybe like 2 burns after I noticed the wicks getting kind of puny. It bounced back and it still continued to perform fine. So all of that, I just want to say, if you are worried about these 4 wicks slowing down on the burns, now this is the first one that I had that happen with. Let's see, this has a pour date, I believe, of it says July 10th of 2025. So just be aware, you guys, that like it doesn't necessarily mean in these 4 wicks that it is a harbinger of the candle is dudding out, that the throw is going to go away. But anyways, just wanted to address that. Now I can go on with the 4 wicks, but Cozy Christmas, this is one that I hope to finish burning this month. And I can definitely see myself repurchasing that. That is truthfully probably my favorite like hearth type of scent. The next fragrance, actually, I just lit this one up yesterday, you guys. This is Snowy Bridge. I have actually had Snowy Bridge twice before. I initially had it in a medium-sized 2-wick. I think this is one of the candles I had in my very first Kringle order. Fragrance notes are citron, frosted fir, juniper glitter, midnight skies, jasmine, silver spruce, vanilla crystal, patchouli kiss. This one has a pour date of February 14th of 2025. Now, here's the thing with this one, you guys. Initially, when I had it in the medium 2-wick, I love this fragrance on cold. It's kind of like, it's really kind of like what you're picturing right here. You've got this like snowy landscape, beautiful. It's like beautifully lit. But here's the thing. This fragrance is kind of light. Not kind of, it is. It's very light. Even on cold, when you smell it, it's light. There's a woodsiness to it, but they also kind of capture a little bit of like moisture, I guess, like snowfall on there. There's nothing overly sweet about this. I smell this. It's a woody fragrance. It kind of reminds me of like a train trestle, with like a picture of a train trestle with snow on it. It's just, that's what I'm smelling when I smell this. It's really, really nice. But I will tell you guys, I burned this last night in my open concept. Again, it was the first burn, and it was very, very light. I could barely detect it. So I'm going to keep burning this one, although I think next time I'm going to burn it in one of the bedrooms because those are more closed concept, and see if I get some better performance. I'll do a dedicated review on this one, but this is a fragrance that I really, really love. But the jury is still out on, if I get better performance in the 4-wick. I know that in the past, one of the reasons why I've liked these 4-wicks is that I get increased strength and throw. Now, I think, is this the next one that I was burning along with it? Yeah. Okay. So when I talk about candles that I've had in the past that were light, and then I bought it in the 4-wick, and now I'm getting better strength and throw. Cozy Cabin. Again, this is I burned this for the first time last night, so I will make sure to do a dedicated post burn. This is another fragrance that I think was in my very first Kringle order over 5 years ago. Fragrance notes are firewood, cedarwood, brown sugar, cinnamon bark, vanilla, warm maple. Pour date of June 25th, 2025. Now, this one, you guys, this has always been one of my favorite Kringle fragrances. It's kind of become a staple for me every winter. I love this one, particularly in the month of January. This is a really nice, warm fragrance, but it's distinctly winter to me. Again, it's woody. You get a tinge of sweetness from the brown sugar and the maple in here, but this is not overly mapley to my nose. Like, it's not a cloying maple. The woody notes in there are really well done. And once again, just like that Snowy Bridge, I don't know if it's maybe just the label or whatnot, but I do smell like snow. It sounds weird, like, and it's not rainfall. It's like smelling almost like wet wood, if that makes any sense. It's just really, really well done. I love this fragrance. But again, in the 2-wick and even in the 3-wick format, I found this fragrance to be, I wanted it to have some more oomph to it. So last night I had this one burning in my daughter's bedroom. And initially, like the first 2 hours, it was pretty light, but I would say I burned this last night for about 4 hours. And I would say by the time I went to extinguish it, this candle was throwing out of the bedroom and into my living room. So I'm hoping that that will be a harbinger of good things to come with the performance of this one. But I will make sure to keep you guys updated on the performance of that candle. All right, let's go ahead and turn this around, doing all sorts of little adjustments here with my little tripod. My arms get tired trying to hold these candles up, you guys, so I was trying to find something that would work. Okay, knit sweaters. Fragrance notes on knit sweaters are floral, coconut, cedarwood, sandalwood, amber, benzoin, oriental musk. Pour date of February 14th, 2025 on this one. Now, this is a fragrance that was initially launched in, I think it was a winter flight collection in January of 2024. They released this with, I think it was Cozy and Warm. This is a very nice fragrance for this time of year if you're wanting something that's kind of fresh but still a little bit cozy. Yeah, this is really nice. I do detect some of that amber. We all know Kringle loves their amber. But I also smell some of these woody accords, but it's not the same woody accord that you've got going on in some of these, like Cozy Christmas, Snowy Bridge, and Cozy Cabin. The floral and the coconut in here, the coconut it lends some type of like creaminess, but the floral in here is really pretty. It's not like springtime floral. It's more like clean, fresh type of floral. I really like this one. But I didn't purchase it initially in the 2-wick because I felt like it was receiving reviews that it was a little bit light. But in this 4-wick format, it performs quite well for me. The fragrance that I like to burn it with, I believe, yep, it's this one, Cozy and Warm, which is the fragrance that it was released with in 2024. If you are looking for a good coffee fragrance notes are fresh brewed coffee, foamed milk, cinnamon, vanilla, sweet cream, heliotrope, and musk. Pour date of July 11th, 2025 on this one. So I do like burning this with knit sweaters, again, particularly this time of year. Sometimes I burn this one also in November. This is kind of like a creamy coffee type of fragrance. It's definitely coffee. Like it is that like fresh brewed coffee, but the vanilla note in here, there's a creaminess to this that lends a little bit more of warmth and coziness to this fragrance. Um, really, really like this scent a lot. Again, I pair it with the knit sweaters here in the morning. I also wonder if this one would be really nicely paired with Bath and Body Works Pink Lavender and Espresso. That might be a really nice combination. All right, next fragrance here. This is a fall scent. So I actually have 2 of these in my collection. Yeah, so this is my beloved Autumn Amber. Fragrance notes on Autumn Amber are apple blossom, floral, cedarwood, pine. Pour date of June 27th, 2025 on this. I have 2 of these because this actually on Black Friday was this was 50% off. So these 4 wicks retail for $45 and this was $22.50. I panicked thinking that they were going to discontinue this fragrance. They are not. They were just making room in their warehouse. You guys, if you like Bath and Body Works Autumn, this is going to be your go-to. I feel like this is one that finally started to pop on people's radar because I kept beating the drum. I was like, you guys, if you like Autumn from Bath and Body Works, get this fragrance. And a lot of people finally were starting, like I felt like a lot of other fellow reviewers were like, oh yeah, this one's really good. It's been around for a while. But yeah, that's one of my favorite fragrances in like late August, early September. Just a great scent. It's kind of got that apple but outdoorsy fall vibe. So I do have 2 of these in my collection and I am not mad at all about that. Another one, you guys, my beloved Fresh Lilac. Now, did I need this in a 4-wick? No, the 3-wick was a powerhouse last year. Fresh Lilac has fragrance notes of, let's see, you know what? I can't read the front ones there. Lilac, floral, musk, freesia, jasmine. I think it looks like magnolia, sweet pea, tuberose. Okay. All of those notes, you guys, just disregard. If you want freshly cut lilacs, you don't want the powdery accord, you want some of the woody stem, but the beautiful lilac blossoms, this is your candle right here. So if you are somebody who loves you a good lilac scent, I've gone on and on my channel about how lilac is a very sentimental fragrance for me. We had an orchard near our house growing up, and every spring, particularly around Easter, I always remember it being like late March, early April, my mom would go and get freshly cut lilacs. They would wrap them in newspaper. She would bring them home, put them in a fresh vase on the mantle of our fireplace, and that lilac smell would just envelop the entire living room. And so this literally smells like that to me. So yeah, very, very sentimental fragrance for me. It is one of my beloveds. You will see in tomorrow's video which one I like to pair this with, because Kringle did release another kind of lilac fragrance last year that your girl here was definitely in love. But fresh lilac will always be a repurchase for me. Rosemary Lemon, once again, this is another fragrance. I feel like the lilac, you know what's funny? These XLs, I feel like some of these are like OG fragrances that were in my first Kringle order. Isn't that funny, you guys? I've been purchasing from them for I think like 6 years now. And I remember Fresh Lilac was in my first order, Cozy Cabin, Snowy Bridge, and Rosemary Lemon were part of my very first orders with Kringle. Rosemary Lemon has fragrance notes of herbs, lemon, jasmine, lime, orchid, peach, tea, wood, and lang. This has a pour date of January 22nd, 2025. Okay, so all of the, once again, this is a candle where they list a ton of fragrance notes, but this is what I'm gonna tell you guys. This is a very fresh lemon. This is not sugared lemon, but you get the herbaceousness of rosemary in there. And you would think, like, how would that work? I always say, if you are doing spring cleaning, if you want people to walk into your home and think that you keep a very, very clean and tidy home, burn this candle. This screams like, hi, I have a very clean home. The citrus, but it doesn't lean like artificial cleaning ingredients citrus to my nose. I know to some people lemon can do that, but I absolutely love this fragrance. I actually have it as well in a 3-wick. I purchased this 3-wick during the Black Friday sale. I think that these were like $8, something like that. I think they might be even cheaper right now. But yeah, Rosemary Lemon. I did find that the 2-wick in this version does a lot better in closed concepts. But the 4-wick did really, really well in the open concept. So moving forward, like I said, I only purchased this one because the 3-wick, because it was pretty cheap. But moving forward, the 4-wick format is where it's at for me with Rosemary Lemon. And again, you'll see that there's a reserve fragrance that I like to burn it with as well. All right, so we are done with the XLs. Oh boy, let's go ahead and talk about the medium wicks as well as some of the 3 wicks that I have in my collection. So we'll start out with this medium-sized 2-wick. I think Amy from Beloved Fragrance Finds passed this one along to me. You know what? Let me adjust my, there we go, my tripod a little bit. Okay, this is Saltwater Taffy. Fragrance notes on Saltwater Taffy are sea salt, sugar, vanilla, strawberry, fruit, and sweet. This one has a pour date, I believe, of March 13th, 2024. I think this was released in the 2023 summer lineup. If you've ever smelled like a strawberry saltwater taffy, this is very authentic. That's what this smells like to my nose. I like this one. Is it one that I felt like I needed to like go out and repurchase? I think I had it initially, and then I bought it in a 3-wick. And then I was like, I love this, but I wasn't clamoring to buy a backup of it. But when Amy said, like, hey, do you want this one? It's not really for me. I was like, yeah, I'll take it. I do like it. Again, not one that I feel like I need backups upon backups. It's not a Rosemary Lemon to me or whatnot, or a Fresh Lilac. But I do like this in the summertime. This, I'm trying to remember which one. I think, oh, you know what? I really liked pairing this with Sea Breeze. Yeah, I think it was Sea Breeze. Which surprisingly, you guys, spoiler alert, I don't have one of those in my collection, and it's because I'm waiting for it to come back in a 4-wick, because that's the format that I really, really love from them. Now, the rest of my 3-wicks here, we know that Kringle has discontinued the production of their 3-wick candles. So all of the rest of these 3-wicks, I actually have multiples of. So we'll start out, actually, you know what? This probably should have been in tomorrow's video, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it in here since it's right here. This is Bunnies and Flowers. This is from the 2025 Easter collection. Yeah, Bunnies and Flowers. Fragrance notes of green, foliage, vetiver, floral, moss, and wood. This has a pour date of January 30th, 2025. I actually have 2 of these because these went to like $6, I think, in their after Easter sale last week, or not last week, last year. And I really like this fragrance paired with Easter Petals, which was in their like 2-wick, kind of like speckled glass jar. Spoiler alert, you'll see that one tomorrow. I like pairing this fragrance with that 2-wick. So I thought, you know what, for $6, I'm going to go ahead and pick up 2 of these so that way I can burn them with the with that Easter Petals. And that's what I'll do. They're very similar to my nose. This one kind of has like it says green foliage. I feel like this is really similar to Easter Petals, although Easter Petals has more of a citrus note in it that's a little bit brighter, whereas this smells like maybe like a meadow after the rain type of fragrance. Like you're still getting some of that like neroli. I smell neroli in here, even though they don't list it. That's the floral note that I'm smelling in here. There is a mossy undertone that's like green and kind of damp. But I like this one. Again, would I have purchased this again for like any more than what I did? Probably not, but I did like it. I was initially sent the first round of those candles in PR. Here we all go. We know, we know. We know how much I love this one. My beloved Away in a Manger. I still have 4 of these in my collection. This fragrance has now been discontinued and it's not available anymore. Juicy orange, mint leaf, lemon, clove bud, rose, cinnamon, nutmeg, musk, vanilla, cashmere woods. July 24th, 2023 is the pour date on this one. And yeah, this is just so good, you guys. This is my very favorite winter orange fragrance. It's still very juicy orange, but you get a lot of like clove, little bit of like cinnamon spice in there, a little bit of nutmeg. Yeah, I know that those, yeah, cinnamon, cashmere woods, like all of those other things that are listed in there. I don't get that. Maybe the lemon kind of gives a little bit more zestiness and brightness to the orange. But this is really, really good. But again, I think they only want to keep one Pomander type of fragrance in the lineup. And currently, I believe that that is Melanie's Vintage Pomander, as it should be, you guys. I mean, this fragrance was initially one of the prototypes for Melanie's Vintage Pomander fragrance. And while it didn't meet what she was exactly looking for, she did tell Kringle, she said, that's an amazing scent and you guys should do something with it. So they did. They put it into the Away in a Manger. Now, this fragrance right here is Warm Banana Loaf. Fragrance notes of ripe banana, fresh baked bread, cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla. Now, you will see the original iteration of this in my video tomorrow. This is a repackage of Country Candles Banana Bread from their limited edition summer 2024 lineup. So I actually have 3 of these 3 wicks in my collection. This one smells strong on cold. This is the exact same fragrance, you guys. It is a repackage. We were told that it was a repackage, and it is. Yeah, I love this one. It kind of smells like banana bread batter to me more than it smells like actual banana bread being baked, but I'm not mad about that. I love me a good banana gourmand fragrance that doesn't lean like overly sugary Laffy Taffy banana. And this one just fits the bill for me. So again, I'm not sure if these are still in stock on the Kringle website. You can look. I think a lot of these 3 wicks, you guys, are down anywhere between, I want to say, $6 and $9 during the after Christmas sale. So you might want to check them out. If you miss that sale and these are still in stock, I think that they normally go like 3 for $33. But yeah, check the site to see if they are still on sale. And then this is the other candle that I have 4 of these. This is a discontinued fragrance, and you're going to see there's a sticker on this. I actually purchased this. This was one of the gems I came across in the clearance room when I visited Kringle back in August, the actual Kringle store in Bernardston, Massachusetts. My husband and I took a trip to Boston, and Bernardston's about a 2-hour drive west, like northwest of Boston. So if you're ever in the region, that's how you would get there. I fully enjoyed it. We made a day trip of it. But anyways, one of the fragrances I came across was Sugared Diamonds. Fragrance notes of strawberry, red berry, baked pastry, banana, oats, cinnamon, clove, vanilla, cooked sugar. I don't have a pour date on this one, but you guys, this when they initially launched these painted 3-wick jars, this is actually the fragrance Fruit and Flakes, which has been discontinued for some time now in their 3-wick version. And oh man, you guys, this is like oats with a little bit of banana. You get a little bit of spice. It's just, again, one of those really good gourmand fragrances. If you are somebody, I like pairing this either with the warm banana loaf, or I really like pairing this with Bath and Body Works Hummingbird Tea Cake. Um, yeah, I think that that's just a great fragrance. So I do have 4 of these. I did purchase 4 of them when I came across them in the Kringle store, because I was like, absolutely, I knew I couldn't get my hands on those online. And I was like, yes, please, please give me all of those. All right, we're going to do a little bit of adjusting here. Bring these into frame. Let's go ahead, and I'm reaching for 2 more. We're almost done with this video, you guys. Holy moly. All right, let's go ahead and back this up a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and talk about the newest Winter Flight collection. This is Snowy Cascade. Now, I actually have 2 of these in my collection, because this is the one that my friend Amy from Beloved Fragrance finds. She had ordered these. I was given these in PR. So I still have 2 full vessels of these in PR, but she burned hers halfway through and decided it wasn't for her. I liked this fragrance on cold, so I was like, you know what? Go ahead and give me yours. That way I can burn it and do my post-burn review. So that way, if it's not a love for me, I can go ahead and pass along the one that I was given in PR. Usually, if you guys are new to my channel, what I will do, sometimes if I'm given candles in PR that are not my jam at all, what I will do is I oftentimes donate them, particularly during this time of year. I live in Arizona, if you're new to my channel. We get a lot of winter visitors here, and therefore there's a lot of like charity auctions and fundraisers and stuff like that going on during this time of year. And so I will oftentimes donate candles that just are not for me, to like those types of like silent auctions and that kinds of stuff. Raffle prizes, door prizes, that kind of thing. So Snowy Cascade has fragrance notes of eucalyptus, ginger, anise star, bergamot, cedarwood, geranium, orange, nutmeg, petitgrain, and musk. Fragrance note, pour date of July 17th, 2025. So this one to me, you guys, is very like fresh. Is this a fragrance that I would have purchased like if I were in store? No. Do I like it? Yeah, it's kind of fresh and outdoorsy and like a wintry scent in a wintry sense. There are some like green floral accords going on here that don't necessarily make me think of like icy waters and stuff, but there is a chilliness to this that is not that like minty outdoor air. So I do plan to burn this one this month. I might burn it with that sniff candle that I got, that Winter Wander. But yeah, it's a like, but not a love for me on cold sniff. Now, here's the one, you guys, that I actually really like this fragrance on cold sniff, but I know that Melanie didn't like this, and same, Amy didn't like this fragrance either. Parisian Frost. It has fragrance notes of bergamot, rosemary, basil, lavender, moss, jasmine, muguet, patchouli, armoire, and santal. Pour date of August 14th, 2025. Oh, it's funny. They were probably pouring that when I was there. Okay, here's the thing with this one, you guys. This kind of has like a soapy type of smell to it. I like it. Truthfully, this picture here, how it's kind of got that like, what is this tint called? Like, is it called like sepia type of tint? It kind of, there's something very like vintagey smelling to this. Like it kind of reminds me of like, if I were to think of like a powder room in like a fancy, like in a like 19, like an early 1900s mansion or something like that. That's what the smell reminds me of. There's something about it that I really like, but I could see how this would not be for everybody. This does kind of fall into that like slightly powdery, um, yeah, like it's clean to my nose. My daughter really likes this one too. Bergamot, rosemary. I don't smell anything like overly herbaceous in this. I think it might be the lavender, and the jasmine. But yeah, I like this one a lot. The santal, yeah, like a base of sandalwood in there. I like this one. So I'm gonna burn it. Again, this was her cast off, but we'll see what I think about it on burn. So we've got that one. All right. Oh, here we all go. We know I love this one. I think this was my favorite candle of 2024. This is ice cream sandwiches. We don't have the fragrance notes listed here because this has a pour date of December 6th, 2023. So this was poured over 2 years ago. You guys, this screams summer. This, I smell a lot of coconut. I get creaminess. I get a slight hint of chocolate. I get macadamia for whatever reason. I get like a nuttiness of macadamia. I get even these kind of like these sprinkles, like these like artificial kind of like candied over sprinkles. I get that note in here. I love this fragrance in the summertime. This one in the 2-wick is actually a really strong performer. I know that they offer it in the 4-wick, and I can only imagine that that one is probably like a powerhouse. But I really like that fragrance, and I do like pairing it, oddly enough, with another candle that came in that release. This is Bananas Foster. Fragrance notes are listed on Bananas Foster as banana, brown sugar, soft spice, smoked vanilla bean, butter, soft woods, and sweet. Pour date of January 23rd, 2025. Now, here's the thing with this one, you guys. I know that this fragrance is not for everybody. I do think that it is the wood note in that base that kind of throws some people off. I like this one, but I will tell you guys, I initially was sent this in PR in the 3-wick. I did not like it in the 3-wick. I found it to come across a little bit too scorched, but in the 2-wick format, I do like it better. So I would probably never purchase this one in the 4-wick. And truthfully, I really only have this because I like it paired with ice cream sandwiches. There's something about that vibe together that I just love it. But I will tell you that this 2-wick performs pretty well for me, and I like it best. I feel like it performs the best and doesn't develop that like kind of scorched note in the 2-wick format. I don't think that I would like it in the 4-wick. It would be a little bit too strong for me in that format. I'm going to bring this a little bit closer to me. All right, next fragrance, Cherry Pie. So this was part of their summer flight collection. I can't decide what I'm doing here with this camera. Fragrance notes on Cherry Pie are cherry, pastry, fruit, citrus, buttery, vanilla. Pour date of April 15th, 2025. So this was released last year with Bottle Rocket. I feel like this came out, when was that? Like May of last year? This one sold out pretty quickly. Now, I feel like this is also a little bit controversial. Some people say that they don't smell this one upon burn, but I remembered mine. I feel like it fluctuated a little bit, but I could smell this one for sure. Um, I do get the pastry note in this. There's people who say I don't detect any pastry note, but I do. My nose definitely picks up on a crust note in here. I don't typically love cherry fragrances, but this one I do like. This is actually a repurchase for me. Initially, I was sent the first one in PR, and I did buy another one because I really like this paired with a couple of other fragrances that I have in my collection. I like this paired with like a blueberry. I like this paired with Homeworks' strawberry shortcake. So yeah, I like this one a lot. I think that I'll be okay with not getting more after this. I have been told that this is going to be in the permanent lineup with Kringle. So hopefully they make do on that. Maybe they'll put it in a 4-wick if they do that, and maybe people will be a little bit happier with the performance. But I was pretty happy last year with the performance on it. Sorry, you guys, I got to stretch out my legs a little bit. My 41-year-old back is probably not going to like me sitting on the floor filming all of these videos. All right, you guys, here's another one. Leprechaun Treats. This was released last year for, what was that, St. Patrick's Day? Yeah, obviously St. Patrick's Day. Sorry, once again, you guys, I am altering this. Okay, Leprechaun Treats. We have fragrance notes of super sweet, very vanilla, creamy vanilla, warm amber, more vanilla. So they say it's a lot of vanilla. January 24th, 2025 on the pour date. Okay, here's the thing with this one. And a lot of people were saying this. This burns very hot and sooty. Like a lot of people were saying, I am surprised how sooty this candle is for being a Kringle. I will say that that has also been my experience. But for this having so many vanilla notes, this to me, you guys, this is a very butterscotch heavy candle to me. My nose smells butterscotch pudding when I burn this candle. I don't get vanilla. I have made this no secret, you guys. You guys know I love Kringle. Clearly, they take up more than half of my candle stash. Something about their vanilla notes just still doesn't hit right to my nose. I don't know what it is. A lot of their vanilla notes tend to come across scorched, or they're not the vanilla that I get, say, from you guys know my number one gourmand vanilla is Caramel Sundays Bakery on Main. Their vanillas, I don't know what it is. I think it might be that they add extra oils in there because vanilla in and of itself is a very difficult fragrance note to make strong. So I don't know if it's the addition of other notes. And I know that I'm different because I do know that there's quite a few other people like Amy and Melanie and like a bunch of people who say, I don't get that scorched note, or they do and they like it. But to my nose, I don't like a lot of Kringle vanillas. So this one to me, again, comes across a little bit more butterscotch. Truthfully, you guys, I think I'm keeping that one in my collection right now because I'm not sure if it's going to return for St. Patrick's Day yet. I inquired with our contact and he was going to get back to me after the holidays to see if Leprechaun Treats is going to be coming back. So I don't want to get rid of it just in case it does return for the St. Patrick's Day lineup. So that way I can do a dedicated post burn. But it's also a fragrance that I'm not in love with. And I could see myself decluttering if it doesn't make a return. Now, a fragrance that I do love, and this is a repurchase for me, this is Pumpkin Waffles. Oop, peep my toes there. Pumpkin Waffles. We have fragrance notes here of pumpkin spice, toasted waffles, brown sugar, cinnamon, maple syrup, creamy butter, warm woods accord, amber vanilla accord. This has a pour date of February 18th, 2025. So here's the thing with this one, you guys. If you like Bath & Body Works pumpkin pecan waffles, but you don't like the cloying note of the pecan in that, you will like this. Very much in the same vein, but no pecan. This one I like a lot better. This was a powerhouse for me in the fall. This was a good solid 9 in terms of strength and throw. A lot of these candles, you guys, I do have dedicated post burns on. You can check out my Kringle review playlist. But yeah, this one is really, really nice. So I did purchase a backup of this during the Black Friday sale because I think this was 50% off. And I knew they didn't have this in a 4-wick this year. So I wanted to get it in a 2-wick because the 2-wick, like I said, performed really, really well for me. And I don't really feel like the 4-wick was necessary. And then the last candle that I am going to show you guys today, this is Crinkle Cookies. I can't remember. I haven't inquired, but I've heard some rumors that this one may be a discontinued fragrance. Crinkle Cookies has fragrance notes of chocolate, espresso accord, steamed milk, cocoa, brown sugar, and cream. Pour date of October 18th, 2024. I think this was released in the 2023 Christmas lineup. So here's the thing with this one, you guys. I specifically love pairing this with Wishing for Christmas that was in the Country Candle line. The combination of those two at Christmas time is incredible, particularly when you are baking cookies. This smells like an authentic crinkle cookie being baked in the oven. Really like this one. If you don't like chocolate fragrances, which again, I don't typically like chocolate fragrances, this one is, I mean, there's a chocolate note, but this isn't like a milk chocolate. It's not even a super rich chocolate. You get some of that powdered sugar accord in there, but it's more like fresh powdered sugar, not like a powdered sugar glaze. Um, yeah, really, really well done on this one. I really like it. I had thought about like just powering through and burning it, but honestly, you guys, I still have 2 of Wishing for Christmas. And I thought, you know what? No, let's just hold on to it for next year because, again, if it doesn't make a return, then I can go ahead and finish burning it next year. So I tallied up this prior to filming, but I believe my tally for just this video here, counting the multiples of a couple of the fragrances that I just showed you, I believe that my total came out to 34 candles from this video. So if you've added up the previous 3 videos that I did prior to this one, I had a total of 35. Let's add 34. I think now we're at what, 69 candles total in my collection. And I have one more video to film and share with you guys. So if you don't want to miss out on that one, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Like I said, that will be my reserve collection, my country candles, and like my Easter and Halloween candles that I have in my stash. So if you don't want to miss out on those, please make sure that you are subscribed. Let me know, are any of these currently in your stash? Did you spot any of your favorites? I would like to know. So anyways, you guys, this is already a pretty lengthy video. I hope you guys are having a happy new year. Hopefully you've either been really productive or you are getting all of the rest that you have needed after a busy holiday season. So anyways, you guys, I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.